The Hardcast.
It's time for another insanely dark episode of the Hardcast. I'm your host Chris, and today I'm joined by Steven.
The man whose night is so Xeno.
Tonight's review/discussion is about the 2009 action-adventure stealth game Batman: Arkham Asylum, developed by Rocksteady and published by Eidos Interactive in conjunction with Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. Story written by Paul Dini. Many of the main characters are voiced by the original actors from the animated series, such as Kevin Conroy as Batman, Mark Hamill as the Joker, and Arlene Sorkin as Harley Quinn. The story revolves around the Joker's elaborate plan to trap Batman inside Arkham Asylum, where most of Gotham's supervillains are currently incarcerated. So, Steven, did Arkham Asylum worm its way into your Batcave, or did it leave you hanging unconscious from a gargoyle?
Something got into my Batcave, all right. I'll tell you that, man. Definitely. This game is blockbuster. Unbelievable game. We saw it previews. It was big hype. Tons of previews. Everyone's scared. It could go this way, it could go that way. It could be amazing. Some people, negative reviews are like, it's just another Batman. People don't know anything. But when it finally hit the shelves and people started to play it, all of a sudden, the ideas about all the different stories all came to the positive side. Unanimous decision. Unbelievable. This game was met with beautiful reviews, like positive all the way. Almost nobody hated this game. We have all the story elements. Like, we'll go right into the story. We have Batman. He just caught Joker. He's coming into Arkham Asylum to put him away again. He's tired of Joker. He personally drove Joker to Arkham Asylum in his car. Like, Joker was right there in the seat with him. I thought that was funny as hell when I saw that.
Yep.
I was like, Batman's serious, man. He's driving in. He's dead serious. They throw him in, and you have this little walk with him right in the beginning. That thing was crazy, man. You see Joker's little quirks back and forth. You see him like, what's wrong, Bats? All the different things that Joker for. It's like, instantly this is a classic. Joker's voice is so authentic. That little walk in the beginning, you can't really do much, but you're just walking with Joker as you enter Arkham Asylum. And it just gets crazy from there, man. Like, he pulls a stunt, and then next thing you know, he's loose in Arkham Asylum, and you're the only one who can stop him as Batman. You chase him throughout the game, man. He's like on the intercom throughout the Arkham Asylum. You have, Joker's taunting you, making fun of you, saying this, saying that, just to screw with you throughout the entire game. Like, always, you can always reminded of Joker's voice. That's why I loved it, man. Overall, Joker's always messing with you. Like, what did you think about all that?
Especially like the beginning when he's walking him through Arkham Asylum, because it really sets the mood, the tone. Like you said, there's a lot of dialogue from Joker, and it's all Paul Dini, and that stuff's perfect because he's the guy who wrote the original DC animated series from Warner Brothers back in the day, which is still like one of the best cartoons ever. I love that scene too, like when he comes across Killer Croc, and you see Killer Croc, and you're like, whoa, that's not the Killer Croc from the cartoon. This bitch is scary, And he's like, I got your scent, Batman, And you're like, oh,
he
shit.
Instantly threatens you right in the beginning. You're like, oh, fuck, what did I do, He's got this hungry beast already hunting for you, And they pull him away with this electric collar or whatever. They went far and beyond what they needed to show what Batman's been up to all this time, man. It was really amazing. You have all the different elements from him chasing down Joker. As he's chasing Joker, he has many encounters with all of his foes. Scarecrow is back. Harley Quinn is all over the place. Killer Croc, Poison Ivy. They all come at you like with full force. And some way or another, they're all interlinked with Joker. Joker released all the inmates, and they're all free. You're fighting them out throughout the hallways of Arkham Asylum, through the medical hall, through the freaking garden, the mansion. It just gets so...
Well, yeah, I have to just mention that Arkham Asylum is on an island, and this facility is fucking huge. And it is so big. And I remember originally when I heard about the game, I was thinking, the whole thing's going to take place in Arkham Asylum. Isn't that game going to be like super short? And it's like,
just
no.
The opposite.
Yeah, like you said, there's the mansion, there's a medical facility, there's like, well, I can't even remember the other places, but they have different wings, and then they got his Batcave underground, and you got the sewers, and you got Killer Croc's lair, and it just goes on. And then there's all these hidden areas. The game is huge. I mean, the amount of area it covers is huge. And there's so much backtracking as well.
It's far more than they needed to put in, just to show that they could do it. It's just for a small little island, you get the full scope. You are one man with two legs, and you have to traverse this entire island chasing down.
Well, in a cape that can glide.
In a cave, yes, that all that gets into how Batman he grows with you so quickly, man. You see him as he's thinking about riddles. With you got the Riddler in there as well. He's got tons of different elements in there. He's got trophies hidden in little cracks in the walls, and you got to blow them up and try to find where they are. He's got riddles all over the place. You have this extensive menu of all the different riddles he laid out for you all over the island, and you're hunting them down, trying to find cheat sheets where it'll at least show you where to look for the riddles themselves. And then when you get there, it's like you spend a good amount of time trying to figure it out. And you're chasing Joker throughout the mansion, throughout the whole island, and you see all your different villains as you're going through.
Well, yeah, and now that you're mentioning the villains, I would say the 3 villains that you interact with a lot is, of course, the Riddler. Of course, you don't really interact with him. You just hear his voice a lot. And he's always taunting you. But it gets funny towards the end when he gets upset at how good you are at, solving his riddles. Oh, I remember when he said, like, what are you doing looking these up on the internet or something?
It was so funny, which is true for, like, half the people who play the game.
Yeah. And then Harley Quinn is, like, in the game almost all the way through. And that's great, too, because she's one of my favorite characters. Of course, the Joker. The Joker's in it from beginning to end. Throughout.
Undeniable.
Yeah, and the dialogue is great for all 3 of them.
Harley Quinn surprised me, man. She's a little small, sexy type, chick, good outfit, lots of fan service, but she's pretty
like
intelligent for
spice.
herself. Yeah, she spices up the game. Like, whenever Joker's not around, you see Quinn messing with you, sending soldiers your way, blocking off your entryway, so you have to turn around, try to find another way into the building and stuff like that. She's all over the place trying to deter Batman from getting to the Joker. She does a pretty good job. There's many times where she sets traps for you. One of the traps where she has a bunch of security guards hung from the ceiling, and there's electric water beneath them, and you have a minute, 30 seconds to save both of them and get out of the room before the Joker gas goes off. Harley Quinn, she was just as good as the Joker. Those have to be my 2 favorite characters in the whole game, because they just mess with you all game long. It was just so authentic.
And that's not even to say that the other characters were bad, because almost all of them were really cool, especially like Killer Croc and Scarecrow were also very memorable.
Scarecrow especially, man. That man was a beast. Him and his nightmare drugs where you're stabbing him into Batman, and you get this hallucination of Batman like losing his mind, and you're playing inside of his mind where Scarecrow's just messing with you. He's like this big Megazord size, humongous Scarecrow swiping at you as you're trying to run around trying to find the pieces to Batman's brain, trying to put himself back together. It's just crazy, like what he does to you. It gives this horror element to the game where it's not even scary, but it's like, what the hell's going on? Like,
yeah, psychological.
I don't want to give too much away, but there's one time when you lift your hand out of a grave and you're pulling yourself out thinking you already died or something. And you walking around, you see other Batmans all over the place, multiple clones, different. Like one of the Batmans sitting there eating a rat and like spitting out the insides. I was like, what the fuck is that shit? Oh, and I saw that, I screamed myself, man. I had to scream. The horror, Scarecrow definitely has horror. And you've got the side characters, too, that play a strong role. You've got Oracle, you've got Commissioner Gordon. Oh, man, it's just everyone plays such a powerful role. Like, nobody was forgettable. It's just everyone played a role, especially Batman himself. You've got to give it to him, man. His armor, they went back old school, the old bat suit. Some people didn't like that too much. You can get into that, Chris.
I watched the behind-the-scenes DVD that came with my collector's edition. The suit was kind of a mix, because they were talking to Paul Dini about it, and he was kind of a mix of, like, Dark Knight from Frank Miller and some other stuff from other comics. So it's a good mix of a whole bunch of different suits together. And I think it works out pretty well because they're using the Epic engine to run it, so everyone's kind of big and beefy and roided out kind of looking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of the steroid version of Batman.
Batman's huge.
So he's
muscles
like
on top of his muscles.
Yeah, it's true.
You see every bulge in the suit and everything. It's kind of tacky for tights and all that. That all goes into the other elements in the game where there's lots of air vents, lots of air conditioning vents. You're sneaking into a building. You're literally doing what investigators do. Like, you're sneaking into one corner, investigating different areas, using forensic science to figure out what's going on, clues, evidence, DNA.
Piece all the puzzles together and
he's like, he is the world's greatest detective. They meant it when they said that. Like, you have to solve the riddles, you have to solve Joker's traps, and like everything. It just plays a perfect role. It was very well done. Mm-hmm. Very well done. The graphics were definitely different for this game. Can't say they were anywhere near the best I've ever seen, but definitely different. Where you have unbelievable cast and characters. They all look authentic. The facial hair, the little fuzz in the beard, Commissioner Gordon, especially the hair and everything. It's like you see every little detail, but at the same time, like for instance, if you hit pause, the screen will come out and it looks like a comic book again.